Hello and welcome to my 50th vlog. And this isn't remotely what I had in mind, because this weather is terrible. If it had been anything more interesting than this solidly dull grey day, I'd have been about a mile that way down the coast doing something interesting. But as it's my 50th vlog, I'm going to start by thanking all of the people who've watched my videos and subscribed and made really encouraging comments, and even to the odd person that's put a thumbs down on. Thank you for watching. As to why I started the channel, I'm not going to go into this here because I'm going to encourage you to watch Gary Norman of Re-Photography's channel. In a recent vlog, I explained to Gary why I started vlogging. Today, I'm going to show you what's in my bag. And actually, to some degree, I don't use a bag, so it's going to be a case of what's around my neck. Now, everybody that does these vlogs always starts by saying, I've been asked by lots of people to show them what's in my bag. Well, I actually have been by 3 people asked to do this. But part of the reason I thought I'd do it anyway is because one of the things about being a landscape photographer in particular is that it's essential to get out into the landscape. So for me, piss off, wasp. For somebody of my age and somebody with a gammy leg, being able to get out into the landscape is slightly more of a challenge than for some of you youngsters. And what that has meant is that I've actually pared down my equipment to something that makes it really easy for me. And I also set myself up in a way that it's modular. So I've got 3 setups to show you. And how I can very easily transfer equipment from one setup to another, depending on whether I'm popping down the coast for a couple of hours, I'm going out for a day hike, or if I'm going out for an overnight wild camp. In order to make sure that I don't pitch up halfway up Snowdon and go, oh my God, this is what I forgot, I make sure that I can easily transfer stuff, and I'm going to show you my modular system. Now, you're going to notice a few common themes running through all of this. One is that everything is cheap as chips, and almost all of it bought off of Amazon, cheap Chinese knockoffs and tuppence halfpenny versions of more expensive stuff. But they've all been tried and tested and they work, and so why spend any more? You'll also see that most things are purchased very much with their weight in mind. I don't want to carry a single gram more than I absolutely have to. So let's start with the most important thing, my main camera. Nikkor D50-500. I bought it because I got it with a really good 18-140 kit lens, all for less than 800 quid. I don't care what badge is on my camera. All I care about is that it will do what I want it to do. What I love about this is for a little entry-level crop sensor camera, it's got an amazing dynamic range, 14 stops. That puts it beyond some seriously good quality, full frame, high-end contenders. So that's great for landscapes. I don't care that it only does 5 frames per second on continuous shooting. I don't care if the autofocus is a bit clunky and a bit slow. That's not relevant to me in the slightest. I bought it because it was a good deal. It's pretty lightweight as well, which really helps, although I've got it with a battery grip. The reason for that is because I'm using live view all the time. I can spend 2 or 3 hours before I need to change batteries quite easily when I'm out shooting, and also an L bracket because why not? I never carry this in a bag. This is always round my neck. I used to have it in my backpack when I was heading out somewhere. Now I have it on a sling so I can pull it up and get a shot even when I'm out hiking with my big backpack and my walking poles and the whole 9 yards. And I did that because I missed shots. There was times when I'd be out, I'd see something interesting and I'd think, oh God, I've got to take this all off my back. I've got to dig around and get my camera. And I thought to myself, what's the point in being out and about with a camera as a photographer when it's on your back and you can't be asked to get it out? So, and in fact, quite a few of the good shots that people have reacted very positively to have come from exactly that sort of scenario. I'm headed somewhere, but I've got this handy. And so that works for me. It's been bulletproof. I love it. I'm quite happy with the quality that I get from it. 24 megapixels as well, so you know, not to be sniffed at as a landscape photographer camera. I'll cover the lenses that I use as I go through how I carry stuff. I should say that I'm going to keep this as quick as possible, canter through it. I'm not going to be putting a big list of links down below and all that sort of rubbish. If anybody's interested in what did that cost you, does it work, where do I get it from, just leave a comment and I reply to all the comments, so you can find out more if you want to. So when I'm just going out for a pop down the beach, out for a couple of hours, just for a walk, just to take some pictures, all I need to take with me is my tripod. Cheap Chinese knockoff, K&H concept, about 35 quid I think, but it was the lightest one I could find. It's aluminium, it's not carbon fibre, but it's only just a shade over a kilo. So very happy with this, solid as a rock. I've had it a good long while. What I did do is I've replaced the ball head. This little mini one here I put on only about a month ago, and it's a fraction of the weight of the ball head that came with this. It's only 150 grams as opposed to 350 grams of the previous ball head. But with this locking lever, it's absolutely superb. It locks really rigidly, but when you unlock it, the motion of the ball head is really smooth. So I'm very pleased with that because I've saved 200 odd grams. So obviously that comes with me. I'm either carrying it or it's hooked into this, and I'll show you more about this in a sec. Now this is what I take with me if I'm just going out for a shoot where I'm not hiking anywhere. I don't need a map and compass and an emergency kit and all that sort of bollocks. This shoulder strap that I've got it on comes off, which means that I can stick all this in a backpack if I'm going out backpacking. So it didn't come with it. What this consists of is a pouch. Take it, everything comes to bits easy. So I can carry refreshments if I'm just going down the coast. I bought a set of these neoprene pouches. You'll see a couple more of these in use. About 10 quid for 4 of them, different sizes. Absolutely brilliant. They clip into stuff, they cinch up, and they make fantastic lens bags. And if you're just hooking a lens on your backpack, shoulder strap or something like that, brilliant. 10 quid for 4 of them. You can't go wrong with that. So that's my hydration system. Water bottle. They were always water bottles when I was a youngster. Hydration systems, my arse. Right, so the strap comes off, so if I don't need it, that's fine. In here, I'll usually take this out and about with me. This is my little DJI Spark drone. Fits in this little pouch, including spare prop. I also use these ND filters, really good, because I shoot it in manual mode. I can stick an ND filter on and get the shutter speed down to about a 50th, which is great. But that's everything in this tiny little pouch, and I've got the wherewithal to use drone footage whenever I want. Now this is actually a water bottle pouch for those kind of outdoorsy bushcraft type people that have molly systems all over the place. So this main thing holds a water bottle or a canteen system, and then you've got this pouch attached to it on the front. What I use it for, as you can imagine, lenses. I've got a little 35mm 1.8G. It's the only lens I bought new off of Amazon, 140 quid. Absolutely brilliant, sharp as a tack. And when I'm anywhere near 35mm on my zoom lens, I'll swap it over to this usually because it'll give me better results. And then the only other lens that I need is a wide angle, and as you can see, a couple more of those neoprene pouches. So this wide angle, second hand off MPB, who cares, cost me 200 quid. Tokina 11-16 ATX Pro, absolutely brilliant. Now there isn't a focusing motor built into my D5500, so this is manual focus only. I don't care, I use manual most of the time anyway. That's a great lens. Doesn't go on the camera very often because my main kit lens, well actually no, it's not a kit lens, I've replaced it. This is an 18-200 and it pretty much lives on the camera. It's not often I need to go wider than an 18, but I take this with me anyway because simply having this little pouch to carry it in over my shoulder, it's no bother whatsoever. It makes life really easy. Now, in addition to the two lenses in what would be the water bottle container, there's this side pouch which is perfect for my ND filters and a cable remote. I don't use graduated filters in the field. I do everything in Lightroom. I'm quite happy exposure blending, but of course there are times when I want to slow the shutter speed down, so I have to have some full ND filters. This other pouch on the side here is removable because it's a Molly system pouch. With these little clips I can clip it on when I need it, but there are times when I don't need to take these lenses with me, so I'll just take this pouch, and so in effect that's all I need to go out and do landscape photography. So in here I carry some extra filters, lens wipes, spare batteries, another cable release, all the sort of crap that you have to have really when you're out and about doing landscape photography. But if I want to, I can just put that on my belt or chuck it in a day pack, and so it gives me the opportunity to travel even lighter. And there are many a times when I'm out and about when I might have my lenses in my backpack, but I'll have that on, say, it's got a belt thing so I can stick it on the waist strap of my backpack. Makes life very easy. That's it. Oh, vlogging camera. I've got one of those. Where the hell did I put it? Hawkeye Firefly 8S, 90-degree field of view, not the 170 version, which means that my horizons are far less bent. Built-in stabilization at 1080p, so I don't need a gimbal. I have that on the cheapest of cheapest chips, Amazon Basics lightweight tripods. Pretty much lives on there. The tripod, extend one leg, I've got a selfie stick, or I can just clip it onto the shoulder strap of a backpack or clip it into one of these Molly bits. No bother whatsoever, weighs nothing. Oh yeah, and then my audio for vlogging is that most of the time this little 10-pound lav mic is plugged straight into the camera. When the camera's too far away, and I did used to have an extension lead for it, that crapped out on me up at Llynegi, and I won't use it again. I got one of these. This is a £20 knockoff of an H1 Zoom recorder. It's nothing like it, but it's 20 quid and it works pretty well. So, and it's tiny and just slips in that pouch, this pouch, when I'm out and about and I don't need it. So that's my audio. So if I'm going out for a bit of a day hike, I got this backpack off of Amazon, Yuha, I don't know, Chinese knockoff. Oh, strap, that's my camera strap, sling jobby. This doubles up as a business backpack, so when I go to London, it's all completely modular, as I said. Camera pouch, it does come with a camera insert, which I've used. Sometimes I put my lenses in there, but more often than not, this is in there. This is kind of like my EDC pouch. Whether I'm out and about, anytime I'm out for more than, say, an hour or so down the beach, I've got this with me. So this is things like medical kit, emergency stuff, spare power bank, water filter, torch, all the usual kind of bushcraft bollocks, emergency apocalyptic stuff. But when I'm camping, it's got everything I need in it. So this little pouch simply gets transferred from one backpack to another, and I don't have to think, oh, have I got the cable to charge my phone up overnight, for example? Have I got a water filter? Have I got a compass? This is my emergency kit. It's got medical stuff in it. Everything goes in there, and so if I grab that to go camping, the only other thing I need to go with that is a paper map, and I just grab whichever map for wherever I'm going. That works really well. It makes life really easy, and that often sits in where the camera insert goes in when I'm out for a day hike. So highly recommended. If I get asked, I'll happily go through the contents of that, but you know, it's just common sense. You see people going through, oh, my everyday carry emergency kit. You know, it's all common sense, isn't it? What, you want something to drink? What do you do if you cut yourself? You want to be able to see at night? I mean, come on. So that goes with me. So that's my day hiking. I got 2 of these, which obviously double up when I'm using a tarp for camping. I love trekking poles. They make life so easy, especially when you're an old git with a gammy leg. They really help. So highly recommended. These weigh next to nothing, 15 quid for the pair off of Amazon. And finally, the old wild camp loadout. The thing about wild camping for me is that I'd probably do it even if I wasn't taking photos, because I just like being out and about. You kind of can't beat being down by the coast or up in the mountains just for a night of solitude and tranquility. So but of course it goes together very well with wild camping, where you want to catch a sunset and a sunrise and it puts you on the spot. So this is where I'm absolutely ultra lightweight. My main backpack is a cheap knockoff, 60 litres. I don't use 60 litres, I can't carry that much. So there's usually a bit of spare space in it to put the pouch in or whatever else. What I've got in here, oh, and by the way, fully loaded, this is sub £20. That doesn't include my camera, which will be around my neck, but for actually spending a night out under the stars, sub £20, not bad. So I'll just quickly run through what I've got in here. I've got a poncho that goes over this, doubles as a ground sheet, 700 grams, cheap as chips, Amazon. A DD 3x3 tarp, 40 quid, Amazon. Oh, 800 grams. Pegs and paracord. Cook set. It's a pan with a little stove in it and a little 100-gram gas canister. Don't need any more than that. I tend to just cook noodles and stuff because they're really lightweight. Our little bedroll thing weighs next to nothing. Actually, it doesn't blow up anymore, but it's very lightweight and it's got a sort of foam insert, so I thought, why bother replacing it? Does the job. And there's just a standard sleeping bag tucked down in the bottom there. That's it. That's all you need. You set your tarp up either as a tent or as a lean-to. Then if you set it up as a lean-to with just one of you in it, you can wrap it under so you've got a built-in ground sheet, a couple of walking poles and a bit of paracord. I mean, if it came to it and I was, I don't know, stuck in a forest or something, obviously I'd use trees and do a bit of bushcraft and all that sort of nonsense. But the whole thing about all of this is that I've been out carrying loads and loads of really heavy kit and it's been bloody miserable. Now that I'm down to this lightweight modular system that I've built up over 49 vlogs and various other outings, it makes life really easy. It means that I can just grab the bit of kit that I need, don't have to think about it. I'm lucky because I live on Anglesey. Very often any trip out is based on looking out the window and going, well, what's the weather doing? So it means that I'm not having to travel somewhere with my fingers crossed hoping that it's going to be decent conditions and having to have every possible bit of kit to allow for every eventuality. I don't go out when it's tipping down with rain, so you know, I don't have to worry too much about wet weather gear. I don't keep my stuff in dry bags, because if I'm out and it comes on to rain, yeah, I might get caught in a heavy shower, hence the poncho, so I can just drape it over and that's job done really. But I'm not going to be out, 24, 48 hours where it's lashing down the entire time. I don't have to worry about that sort of thing. I think I've covered everything. As I said, I'm not putting links to this lot. If you're interested in anything, ask me questions in the comments. And once again, I really want to thank you all for tuning in to my vlogs. On the 1st of September last year, when I hit that publish button, I must admit, I thought to myself, what the hell are you doing this for? And frankly, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the levels of camaraderie and banter with my fellow vloggers. I really enjoy it when people say, hey, that was helpful, because that's part of the reason for doing this, is to say, this is good fun, it's a hobby, we enjoy it, and this is how to get the most out of it, or should I say, this is how I get the most out of it. And if that's helpful to somebody, then, you know, great. So thanks for watching. I hope it's been interesting, and if you haven't done it already, why not subscribe and join me next time. Cheers.